but I can tell you that if Air Canada thinks that planes will be flying this afternoon, they're sorely mistaken. That won't be happening today.
You know that people will go to jail potentially, and your union will face hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars in fines. What's the limit that you're prepared to exert here to try to make your point?
There's no limit. We're going to stay strong. We're going to stay committed to making sure that those workers can do the job that they love doing and actually be able to afford a roof over their heads, to afford caring for their families. And if it means folks like me going to jail, then so be it. My name is Mark Hancock, and I'm the National President of CUPE, the Canadian Union of Public Employees. I want to begin with a passage that I think speaks volumes to the moment that we're in right now. The right to strike is not merely derivative of collective bargaining. It is an indispensable component of that right. That's from Supreme Court Justice Rosalia Bella in 2015, when she upheld the charter rights of workers in this country to withdraw their labor. We are here today because we are standing up for the rights of our members and for the rights of Canadians under our Constitution. The right to free collective bargaining, including the right to strike, is a fundamental right that is protected by our Charter. It is an essential part of collective bargaining and for workers to have a say in their collective future. These rights have to mean something. And real negotiations cannot happen if only one side is banking on the government taking away the rights of another party. And that is what has happened here. We are here because of Air Canada, a company that clocked $3.5 billion in profit in the past few years, and a company that thinks simply paying workers for their time on the job is too much to ask. Nevertheless, we remain committed to finding a deal, and we welcome any assistance that helps us find a way to reach a freely negotiated collective agreement, an agreement that our members can ratify. We will not resolve this by taking away the rights of workers who are already struggling to make ends meet.
The CBC, just wanted to know, your workers have now, and your union has instructed them to defy two back-to-work orders, the one that expired yesterday at 2 and the subsequent one that expired today at noon. What's the roadmap forward here if Air Canada refuses to come back to the table? Would you just continue to defy these orders? What are you willing to do? Be fined, go to jail? What's the roadmap here?
We will not turn our back on these workers. We will not turn our back on these members. We're going to continue to support those flight attendants that are walking the picket lines here at Pearson and across the country. We will do whatever it takes to get them a collective agreement that they can vote on.
When it comes to on the call last night with members, obviously there was a tremendous amount of anxiety about people losing their jobs. Are you worried about people's stomach to stay on the picket line and not cross back over for fear of losing their job?
Not at all. Our members have remained strong and will continue to remain strong and have reached out saying that they're fully supportive of this. And this needs to happen. They're no longer willing to accept the norm.
Mark, the Labour Relations, the CIRB has declared that this is a lawful strike. The strike is over, they're saying. You know that people will go to jail potentially, and your union will face hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars in fines. What's the limit that you're prepared to exert here to try to make your point?
There's no limit. We're going to stay strong. We're going to stay committed to making sure that those workers can do the job that they love doing and actually be able to afford a roof over their heads, to afford caring for their families. And if it means folks like me going to jail, then so be it. If it means our union being fined, then so be it. We're looking for a solution here. Our members want a solution here, but that solution has to be found at a bargaining table.
Just back to the scheduling of flight attendants, Mark. Have flight attendants been scheduled to come back to work In other words, it's the onus on them not to respond according to the scheduling system. I'm just wondering about the mechanics of that right now, because the airline said they were going to get back to business today. So were they getting messaged, or, can you illuminate a little bit how they're being directly contacted?
I can't answer the contact piece, but I can tell you that if Air Canada thinks that planes will be flying this afternoon, they're sorely mistaken. That won't be happening today.
When it comes to the negotiations, when was the last time there's been contact? Have you reached out to Air Canada to say, hey, well, this is all going on, can we just get back to the table?
I'm not sure when the last contact was made, but we have made it very clear that we're all still here at this hotel, and while we enjoy room service, we're not here for a holiday. We're not here for a vacation. We're here to do the work. We're here to negotiate a collective agreement. The employer is not here. We want to get a deal, but it takes two sides to commit to meeting and to working through some of the challenges that are facing us.
For the general public who may be confused by this, I mean, it does sound like you're sort of waiting for a call. Is that what you're waiting for?
Not necessarily waiting for a call, waiting for something for the employer to show up and say they're ready to bargain.
Would it be worth calling them and say, hey, let's
I believe there has been some. We have reached out to the employer. I think Wesley did that today or last night. So
And what was the response?
I don't know. Wesley, do you want to talk to that?
There's been no response from the employer.
No response.
Nothing.
When was the last time that negotiations were actually happening at the table?
That would have been Friday night.
There's no turning back here for you guys. Is that how you see it? Like, this is something that you need to see to the end, either solution through the resolution at the bargaining table, or just an unending defiance of the law. One or the other.
None of us want to be in defiance of any law. That's not our.
But you are.
I'm trying to answer the question. None of us want to be in defiance of the law. But as we've said repeatedly, we're going to stay committed to those workers that are walking the line. The employer has, or the government has said that we should go to binding arbitration. And binding arbitration is sometimes a solution that some unions will work. We're already in the courts on 107. The fact that the government has used 107 in this case and in previous cases sends a very strong message to my union, but also to the labor movements in the public. And we will get through the courts. I'm very optimistic that we will be successful in the courts. But as I said yesterday, and I've said a number of times, we're looking at 10 years probably before this works its way through the courts. And our members do not have 10 years to wait to have their rights restored.
Mark, is it possible your view is going to change at all today? In other words, Solidarity, the bargaining committee, and the whole executive, are you all in on this, or could that change today?
Hell yeah, we're all in on this. Like I said a number of times, we're here for those workers. And I think you've heard I fly a lot. I'm the national president, and Candace and others fly a lot. We get to spend a lot of time in the air and on the ground with these folks. And we're there for sometimes delayed an hour or two or three, and that's inconvenient for me and the public. But for those workers, for those flight attendants, they're working those 3 hours, those 4 hours, and not getting paid a dime, and that's just unforgivable. And that's what this is about. We want to make sure that those women and men get the pay that they deserve and that they're entitled to.